You, a living entity, in search for tranquility. Voices around here, voices without certain peace and symphony. You are peace. This is a beautiful certainty. You in search for beauty, as mesmerizing as the morning dew, though that beauty is all within. It is the essence of you. You are whole and complete, as pure and neat as the ocean water, ever flowing no matter. For you are valor, conqueror of storms, a skilled sailor. You, my angel, bestowed upon to love and to be loved. I wrote this poem during a time when I used to walk into a room full of people and wonder if they liked me. It was written when I had constructed a mental barrier, this big, huge wall for my own self, which had a foundation that was made of low self-esteem. So I wrote this poem for myself, to remind myself that you need to take care of yourselves firstly, then only you can take care of others. Because it is rightly said that you cannot serve from an empty vessel. So for eliminating a problem, its roots should not be alien to us. So here comes the question. What is self-esteem exactly? In psychology, the term self-esteem refers to a person's sense of self-worth or personal value. Now there's this one more very interesting concept that psychologists have attempted to determine, and it refers to the negativity bias. It is a process in which, if we as individuals are presented with two equally charged stimuli in our environment, so the negative one tends to attract more of our mind's attention. Thus, when we as individuals are presented with our strong positives and equally bad shortcomings, so we tend to focus more on the negatives, and that leads to us having a low self-esteem. And a quick search on Google tells us that according to the self-esteem book, which is written by Dr. Joe Rubino, a whopping 85% of the world's total population suffers from low self-esteem. If you consider some maths to it, so that's like 5.95 billion people that have a low opinion about themselves. So, what do we do about this problem? How do we tell ourselves that it is absolutely okay to love our own selves and that loving our own selves does not make us narcissists? Narcissism refers to think highly of our own self without being honest with who we really are and to not acknowledge and recognize all of our strengths along with our imperfections. Self-love, on the other hand, refers to accept ourselves for who we really are, all of our flaws and flaws, and even then, loving and respecting our own beautiful self. Self-love begins with one very crucial first step. Accepting yourself for who you are. I spent years of my life, quietly, but mind you, cleverly telling myself that I am not worthy. I obsessed over mistakes from my past and endlessly replayed embarrassing moments. I did not forgive myself for being and acting as a human, basically, and that's what we all tend to do. But let me remind you that to be human is to be stormy and tempestuous at one moment, and to be calm and sunny the next. To pretend otherwise is to deny who you are, and denying who you truly are is an act of self-loathing. Buddhism has a very interesting concept which is known as Maitri. It refers to showing love and kindness towards oneself. Accept yourself for who you are. Accept all of your emotions, even the most despaired ones like anger, hatred, jealousy, etc. Accept all of your flaws, your flaws, your strengths, your experiences, the best and the most darkest ones even. Accept all of it because acceptance is the first step towards growth. away the societal crap of being happy and content every second of your life and step into the greater reality by being honest with who you are and how do you experience life. That helps you to create a space to give and receive love. Now, after acceptance, get to the why of your feelings. For example, why do we feel a certain way around certain people or in certain situations? I tend to feel low sometimes because I get angry often. What works for me? Doing the root and cause analysis. Is my anger caused because of certain people around me, or is it because of certain situations, or is there something more to it? Get to the why. How do you get to the why though? Well, spend some time with yourself. Self-talk that does not burn is something which really helps. I know it is scary to do so sometimes because quite often we as individuals are afraid of what we may find out if we spend some time alone. But let me remind you that there's a neglected sense of compassion, enchantment and joy which rests deep within you, waiting for you to create the space for it by unraveling it. Spend time with yourself and anchor yourself to people who make you feel different, people who make you feel good or real. Now, when you have some idea about the why, sort of, figure out how to deal with it. For example, if my anger is caused because of certain people around me, so I would avoid spending my time with those people and giving any of my own precious energy towards them. Or even if my anger is caused because of my own self sometimes, so I will indulge in activities or tasks that make me feel happy, that make me feel good. Carve out a strategy that works for you. My personal favorite is the grapes. Gratitude, relaxation, affirmations, pleasure, exercise, and social. Be grateful for what you have in your life. The attitude of gratitude works the best. Relax yourself by doing some breathing exercises or either practicing meditation, whatever works for you to have a calm mind which leads to you having a calm life. Give out positive affirmations to your own self. For example, you can be like, hey, you look really good today. Or even if you're in a bad state of mind sometimes, you can motivate yourself by saying that this thing will also pass and you got this. You always have and you always will. You are your own biggest motivator and also your own biggest critic. Indulge in pleasures of life that bring utter joy to you. Exercise often at regular intervals. And lastly, be out there and socialize with people who make you feel happy about your own self. Compliment yourself more. For example, you can be like, hey, you look really good when you smile. You should do that more often. And coming to that, smile more. Do that more often. It is a proven fact in psychology that even when you're feeling the blues sometimes, or you are in a you're feeling low, or you're in a bad state of mind, so you should smile more. It helps you to elevate your mood. Try to put on a smile. It helps to elevate your mood, even though to a minimal extent. Trust me, that goes a long way. Reward yourself for each and every goal and achievement that you attain. And do that always. I am paying emphasis on the word always here because we should not forget to reward our own self for every goal we attain always. However small that particular achievement may seem, that small step goes a very long way. Also a great example that I read back a while ago somewhere. Look at nature. Even the most beautiful and ancient forests are sometimes reduced to absolute dust and burnt to the ground when a bolt of lightning strikes them. On looking at this, it may seem as a very bad and devastating destruction, but it is not. It is all a natural cycle of life. The fire burns the forest. The soil now has a more nurturing environment, and the forest thus grows back, as radiant as ever before. Beneath the pain, destruction, and darkness lies a quiet core of compassion, joy, growth, love, and beauty. This is true for a forest, and this is also true for a human. So when I feel low certain days, or I feel little about my own self, so I stop, collect my thoughts, and tell this one thing to myself loud and clear, that there is only one part of the universe that you are certain about working upon and improving, and that is your own self. Value the person that you see in the mirror every single day when you wake up. You. Thank you and have a good time.